Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Datia. We have with us Riya Singh, technical analyst, Currencies, joining in. Riya, hello and welcome to the show. We have been discussing with what's happening to the Indian rupee over the last couple of trading sessions. But one currency right now that has been in focus is with regards to where the British pound goes. You are seeing a pullback there, a good rally that has been extended as well to erase 2020 losses. And it is one of the best performers of the past 1 month. What are the reasons that are causing this kind of a rally with regards to where the British pound is concerned?
Upward strong trend into the recent sessions. The reason behind could be, the investors have placed their hopes on a Brexit deal as the sixth round of the talks will start very soon. And it is expected that these rounds of talks will yield some result as compared to the earlier, the talks that had been held. Uh, Both the parties have very high stakes right now, and they have a timeline until October 2. And though there are several changes that still needs to reach a common ground, but we are expecting that something could come out of these talks. Firstly, there is an issue of the fishing deal that was even discussed into the previous talk but has not been solved yet. Secondly, there is a disagreement on the trade and regulations. Now, UK has said that it wants to have a Canadian style agreement, the proposal which was earlier rejected by EU. As such, a deal will allow the UK to sell its goods freely in the EU without having the need to follow the bloc's regulations. So there are these issues that still need to be addressed, and uh, though the you know the talks have been not very fruitful in the past years, we are expecting something to come out of the sixth round of talks that will be held. So this is what has been fueling into the pound USD pair right now.
Right. So overall, right now, what are the broad levels we should be tracking on the pound right now, Riya?
Yes. So on the international pair fund, I think we can definitely expect. Right now, it is at 1.32, and if there is a fruitful or some, you know, uh, sorry. Yes, we can definitely expect a level up to 1.3263 in the coming sessions. If it opens on a positive note, even today above 1.3200, I think it will definitely climb towards 1.3263, 1.3300 into the coming session.
Right. So that's with regards to where the pound is concerned. Similarly, if you see, we are seeing a reverse trend that's happening with regards to where the yen is concerned. There is some bit of pressure that we have been witnessing on the yen. What is it that's actually putting pressure on that front? And what's the trend that we're expected to see?
Yes, so as far as yen goes, there have been recent numbers, that has been released in Japan. So according to the Ministry of Finance of Japan, exports have declined quite significantly by 19.2%. In the month of July, the country had exported worth around 6.6 trillion yen uh, in terms of yen. So while this is better than the decline, it was first observed it was around 26.2% in the earlier month. But we must take into consideration that Japan is an export country, so a decline to such uh, to export to take such a dip into the recent months is not very helpful for the entire economic of Japan, which is still, you know, under recession. So I think these is what is playing into the part. The data also showed the import also fell for the current month. So the import and export numbers have not been quite good for the month. So this is what fueling into the fall. The other thing is the yen also reacted to the Japan's machinery orders. So the total value of the machinery received by the biggest manufacturer in the country fell by 8.4% in June. So even this is what adding on to the weakness into the pair. So meanwhile, other recent economic numbers for Japan have been, relatively strong, but we definitely want a weaker yen for the current scenario, because a stronger Japanese yen will definitely affect the Japan's export. So, in order to pick up its slack, Japan on the economic numbers front, depreciation in the yen is what is expected. So, going forward, I think USD JPY will further dip into the coming sessions.
Right. So that's with regards to where the yen goes. And overall, again, the most important right now is what's happening to the dollar index. Now, since topping out at just over 100 in March, and this was pretty much at the height when, COVID
Mm.
19 has been at its peak. Now, if you go to see, we are seeing that major, weakness that has been coming out, especially with regards to where the dollar index goes. Taking cues from there, what's the sense that you pick up? Do you think now there is a possibility that there could be a breakout that could begin on the dollar index, or do we continue to see this kind of weakness?
I think it will be better to say that the dollar will remain under pressure even for the coming days, because if you look at the various points that we have even discussed further and adding on to the FOMC minutes of the latest meeting, we are not there have been no changes in the broad macro view around the greenback. The US political scenario has stayed the same. The debate has been continuing with respect to the fiscal stimulus bill. So I think a dollar in as far as dollar index goes, it will continue to remain in pressure because of the various uncertainties that the greenback is currently holding on. And due to these uncertainties, major of the investors have flown off to the other safe havens. If you see the positivity into the euro has been significantly increased. Overall positions into the greenback has decreased, and we are seeing quite a pickup into the euro uh, on the global front. Uh, so going forward, I think as far as dollar index goes, it will remain under the pressure because I'm not seeing all these uncertainties getting resolved very quickly into the near term. So if there is if there is a bill passed across with respect to the fiscal stimulus, or there's some discussion with respect to the same comes out, maybe then it can pick up. But apart from that, I don't think so. There will be any upside momentum of us a strong upside momentum into the dollar index coming anytime soon. It can test 93, 93.50 on the higher side max, but I don't see it going any further or testing the levels of 100 anytime soon.
Right. Ria, there's a question coming in whether, they could suggest clients for dollar selling for positional call because the index has traded at 93 presently and below 95. So should they suggest clients for dollar selling for positional call?
See, as far as Indian rupee goes, the domestic front, we are seeing still consolidation phase from past five sessions. So, to sell off a rupee, I think the best level will be 75.05 because it is not breaking off those levels. So sell off from the higher highs is what expected. It will truly at from which level it will truly, I think, depend on the intraday opening. Uh, if, so yesterday it was at 92 dollar index was trading around 92.30, 92.50, and we saw a dip into the opening session into the rupee, but it climbed up from there. And right now, overnight dollar index has gained some momentum. So I think there will be some positive opening that will happen for the rupee in the intraday session. So wait for the levels of 75, 75.10, because that is where it is getting reverted from. But it's still in a quite consolidated range, so don't expect a momentum of around, you know, 25 paise or such. Play within a 10, 15 paise, 20 paise range. 20 paise is also very much to save, looking at the consolidation phase that is going on into the rupee. So selling into the rupee, I think you should definitely look out for the level of 75.10.
Right. And Ria, any intraday strategies in terms of options call?
Looking at the power that we are seeing into the dollar index, I think 75 uh, call, if it opens on a positive note, is a very attractive right now for the current expiry of the week, and the premium is also very low. So there is no loss that can, not much of a loss that can happen there. So if it's open on a positive note, you can definitely go for a 75 call. Look for a breach of 74.85, and if the pair breaches 74.85, go for a 74.75 put.
Right. All right, Ria. Pleasure speaking to you, and thank you for sharing those views and strategies. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of the show as well. Thank you so much.